There's I don't know, I guess he's opinion writer, Dana Milbank for the Washington Compost. This guy is a real Fruit Loop. He really is. And a moron. He says, there's something exquisite about the moment when a conservative decides that he needs more government in his life. About 10:30 Monday morning, Senator David Vitter, Republican Louisiana, an ardent foe of big government, posted a blog item on his campaign website about the huge oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Quote, I strongly believe BP is spread too thin, he wrote. The poor dears, he thinks it would be a better arrangement if, quote, federal and state officials, unquote, would do the dirty work of protecting and cleaning up the coast instead of BP. About an hour later came word from the Pentagon that Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, all three governed by men who once considered themselves limited government conservatives, want the federal government to mobilize, at taxpayer expense, of course, more National Guard troops to aid in the cleanup. That followed an earlier request by the small government governor of Louisiana, Bobby Jindal, who issued a statement saying he'd call the Obama administration, outline the state's needs, and ask for additional resources. These resources are critical, he said. And he goes on. This guy does not know what conservatism is about. He doesn't understand conservatives. He's got a mindset as a liberal. And I don't think he's read the Constitution. If we believed in no government, first of all, why would we support the Constitution? The Constitution doesn't establish no government. It actually establishes a very vibrant federal government. Vibrant, however, within certain boundaries. What Milbank tries to do is project the notion of anarchist on us. We're not anarchists. We're conservatives. And so we can oppose redistributing the wealth, creating massive new entitlements, destroying the currency, running up massive debts, and at the same time supporting a vibrant federal government doing that which a vibrant federal government should do. Interstate commerce, nurturing it, national security, ensuring a strong currency. It's right there. It's in the Constitution. Now, when states are in trouble and they call on the federal government for help because there is a huge disaster facing the nation or a big region of the nation, that's exactly what we want our federal government to do. Not redistribute the wealth. So why is this inconsistent? It's inconsistent in Milbank's head. Not in anybody else's who's a real conservative or an understanding conservative. You see, this is the same Milbank who went to these, or one or so, Tea Party rallies and looked for the one guy with the goofy sign and then smeared everybody. Because he doesn't comprehend, or better than that, he may, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Now, the Commerce Clause alone would empower the federal government to get involved in what is a massive oil spill. Because what? Because it impedes commerce. But I can make other arguments too. National security arguments. Federalism arguments. But it won't matter to this guy. Because he has conservatives pegged as, idiots. And the Washington Post is full of this crap. They have bloggers now, little leftists, little children with no experience, who can turn a phrase here and there. Some of them who are supposed to be covering conservatives and conservatives, writing about us as if we're, in the reptile house at the zoo. Look at them over there. You write about them. Not about our country, not about philosophy, write about them. And we'll hire some of the most sleazy, young, liberal punks we can to do it. But this Dana Milbank is a fraud. He doesn't comprehend what conservatism is, so he belittles it. because, like most frauds, he's a liberal. So no, we don't oppose government intervention at all times in all matters. We support a constitutional republic. And if a state or states want to call in the federal government, at minimum, there's nothing that prohibits that when they're facing a huge disaster. Now, I would disagree with Vitter in this sense. I believe BP is really the only outfit that can figure out how to stop this. Sending a bunch of bureaucrats who typically sit behind a desk, that's not going to fix a damn thing. Those are going to be BP and other guys that work on rigs going out there and eventually plugging this thing or covering it or doing whatever it is they're going to have to do. And they've got a couple of strategies in mind. What people like I have been objecting to is the fact that there is a plan in place that wasn't executed. The materiel wasn't there, the booms and so forth, the ships weren't there. The government didn't act as it was supposed to act, as it had said it would act. I don't see any of that in Milbank's column here. Maybe he missed that. Maybe he mixed the joke that is liberalism, where the government grows and grows and grows and promises, and yet fails to deliver time and again. Maybe that'll be his next column. Maybe not, because he's a liberal moron.